The Provo Game Den Hearthstone qualifying tournament going on right now. Is that correct? I think that's what it's called, something like that. So we've already been through our first round, and we are currently spectating our second round between two of our competitors, Soccer Jedi and I Am So Cute. That's all I got.
Well, currently we are trying to finish final details. Last month we did the qualifying round of a different Fireside gathering in a different part of Utah. So, this is just a continuation of those same Fireside gatherings, kind of getting them around, getting our tournaments noticed, trying to expand. This time we're in Provo, Utah. So, in this game, we have Soccer Jedi and I'm So Cute.
I already said that. Yeah. So it looks like Dr. Jedi's playing a Warlock. Getting a decent lead here in the fourth round. So I must say I enjoy but also hate Warlock decks just because of all the demons. I don't like playing demons. Or I don't like playing against the demons. I love playing the demons.
Yeah. Now we do have a bit of a spectator bug. Happens in Hearthstone right now where if you are playing a druid class or something that has optionals on cards, it'll accidentally freeze like this. Kinda sucks.
Then you can only see part of it.
Yeah.
So... That's always exciting. Dr. Jedi just got board control. And he has that juggler. I'm not a fan of the juggler. He uses it all the time, and it annoys the crap out of me.
Not really seeing a way out of his current predicament. Just way too many things on the board. Like, you can't even...
You can't even get anything on the board to counter anything.
Yeah. Even the swipe and everything else. Not really gonna help. Particularly because there's that void collar on the end.
The taunt is just holding him back. And he pours out an Argus Defender. You know, I don't think Harrison Jones is a card that I personally have seen played a whole lot.
In tournaments, it's hit or miss, because it's really good against the current warrior meta and getting rid of activators for patrons or for rogues who use the deadly poison and the oil. It kind of gets them. So, first game goes to Soccer Jedi.
Yep.
I'm So Cute really wasn't prepared in any way to counter that or combat that. Now this is the second round of 4, so we're still kind of in the beginnings. We still have our semifinals and finals to go through. We did miss the first round of the tournament because we were trying to get technical issues done, get things organized, but we're good now.
Trivia.
Yeah. So we will just wait for the second deck to come up. Now, we had a pretty decent turnout here.
We filled up a full bracket
16,
16, which I think is pretty good.
Huh? On the main screen, you can't be challenged.
We're having a bit of technical difficulties. We will be right back.
Let the hunt begin. Your soul shall be mine.
Okay, and we are back. We fixed the issue. So, second game is between a hunter and a warlock, and I always find this matchup to be more favorable towards the hunter. The hunter has a lot of immediate damage. It gets pushed through. Like even if it's a handlock, there's ways to get past the barriers that are made.
Right. I am so cute as not having a good card draw right now. High mana costs. Just doesn't really have anything that he can put down right away. Gonna be a slow start.
That does work for handlock though. Like it's very much built around just kind of building that hand and then just putting down large minions as it goes.
Right.
Now this seems to be your typical kind of mid-range aggro hunter, no really strong early game yet. I do gotta say though, I'm not the biggest fan of playing handlock. It's too risky for me.
I definitely agree. Having to hold that many cards in your hand, just waiting to play, is hard. So it looks like he can finally. That will be a help.
Yeah, a lot of health to kind of help clear the board, begin to get the board control. But
Ooh,
does silence comes down, puts it into that. It could have been very useful, but now there's a trap and everything.
Yep.
Good play here with the Dark Bomb.
The Dark Bomb.
Getting rid of the end. Ooh, thank you. Now, also here at the Provo Game Den, as we watch this tournament, one of the donators to prizes for this qualifier has been a company called Zero Proof Mocktail. They make non-alcoholic drinks. Particularly, they've been kind of Hearthstone themed, so we are gracious for them donating to our prize pool and kind of, helping create more an incentive to come.
Definitely. So that Lotheb really doesn't affect the Warlock deck so far, just because it's mostly minions. I always find Lotheb to be more advantageous against spell-heavy decks, such as like mages and priests.
Yeah.
Unleash the Hounds, that's another card I hate.
Doesn't really favor in this matchup, though.
Remind me again exactly what it does?
So Unleash the Hounds summons a 1/1 hound with charge. for
Right.
as many of the enemies' minions are on the board. So if he used it now, he'd only get 2. The thing with Handlock is they never really have a lot of minions on the board. Maybe a
Right.
max of 4 if you're really not trading in or things like that.
Right. Well, I know whenever it's used against me personally, I usually never have more than 3 or 4 minions on a deck in play at a time anyways. But at the same time, usually my minions are a little bit more lower health. So it usually ends up turning out in their favor.
This turns, it's getting trickier now because, soccer, like, I'm So Cute doesn't know what the secret is. And that makes it hard to tell what to do.
Right.
But we know what it is, so it's like, okay, we do see a Shadow Flame in hand. We do see options that are there, but, this is a pretty good play.
Right.
Clears most of the board, you have the high main and the shield up. But now there's 2 secrets, so it's like, what do you do? And invariably, like, you always know at least one of them's going to be a freezing trap. It's just the hunter thing.
Yeah.
Hunter's Mark, a good pickup. Right now, this is really all going Hunter's way. Like, there's not much else. And he's done.
I think So Cute just had a hard time keeping the damage away from him.
Didn't really draw into much of the lower level cards that keep Handlock in the game that prevent it from being against Hunter.
Right.
So that's 2 for Soccer Jedi. We're going to play the 3rd game now.
I guess I could be entering this in as we're watching.
So we're going to start entering a few of the other games that are going on. Kind of continue the bracket going. Alright, so we're on to this 3rd game between Soccer Jedi and I'm So Cute. Now, I do gotta say though, in this particular matchup with the Handlock and the Warrior, as we can tell from the hand, it's like 90% sure that we're Patron Warrior at this point. But the Handlock can still put Patron Warrior on the edge. It's very much going to prevent a lot of the advantages of the Patron Warrior, because once the Patrons are out, it's hard to get that final push with a Handlock, because then the taunt walls goes up and then it's impossible to get through. But so far we still have the Handlock, I think, is favored very much in this beginning. Like, there's still like none of the key cards in the Warrior's hand. We have some of the basic cards, but none of the key ones, none of the ones that really push the damage through and get it done. So it becomes a little hard to kind of combat the Handlock when you don't really have much of your minions. Not much to really do. So this is the perfect time for Handlock to kind of develop the board, slowly go through, keep things going, and eventually just take complete control. Just kind of be there. Now this would be a good time to use the Death Spike, kind of get rid of the Belcher, kind of get rid of the Watcher, so there's not a potential another taunt, but still got problems. Still no real minions to replace after that. Could throw down the Thorazane, but there's plenty of answers for it. Could lay down the Dread Corsair, just buy some time, maybe. I would probably go ahead with this line of play. Put the Corsair down, do the damage, then do the Inner Rage to draw more cards. Because you have yourself and you have the Dread Corsair. Or Battle Rage. Shield block, that's unique. Could definitely put down one of the two. The Execute was also good, but I would have probably saved that for later on. Later, stronger minion.
I'm back. If I can pull my mic out. So it looks like this game has gone a little bit better for him.
It's a little fairer. We have a traditional handlock against a patron warrior. Still not much going on for the warrior though. Like the handlock has a nice, good, steady balance, but the warrior is really kind of struggling to get anything on the board and push through.
Right. And this legendary, I forget the name of it, is really going to help the warlock by bringing down that mana cost.
It's a really good answer from the warrior.
Yes, that is.
Keeping the board starting to get it now that there are actually some minions. Dr. Boom's a good pickup. Makes it so if the warrior uses that other card, uses his weapon, it's gonna do a lot of damage.
Right.
Using that to get an extra pickup, just kind of going through.
I will.
Using that second execute to get through, and then placing the Thorazane. This will help start getting some of the cards of the combo in, but still missing key components, like not really getting there.
Right.
Good hit from the Boombot.
That we're waiting for cards for.
Yes.
We have so many other cards, I feel like.
I will see. We'll wait and see what. Yeah, we don't want to have an accident.
Getting rid of the Boombot as well as Sylvanas.
Oh,
We're running pretty low on health.
But he has that armor that he can pull.
Armor made to fit.
Armorsmith taken care of pretty quick. Now we have two big heavy taunts.
That's nice.
The warrior is not drawn into the patrons. the Amani Berserker. Like, there's nothing here to answer these
Right.
problems.
So he does have the armor smith, which helps him to kind of recuperate health or armor. But whereas I Am So Cute has the taunts, it's really not gonna help him a whole lot. There's the Grim Patron. That is going to
We'll start to help even the odds.
Yeah.
Because there's the Whirlwind in hand, there's the Inner Rage. So you can get the Patron down, get some charges, kind of start clearing out the big monsters, but it's still not going to help in the long run.
Right.
Especially if the Warlock, you know, there's a very clear AoE in hand. There's, you know, the heal. There, in fact, two of them. And there's also the taunt. It's like there's just this wall that is built because it took so long for the warrior to finally get in.
Right.
But this potentially could be a mistake because now there's nothing really stopping that patron and wall from coming in. Like that.
Oh, he.
Using that Hellfire early may be what costs him the game.
It is possible.
Because look, we see the commander go down, we see the patrons come down, we're going to see the Inner Rage, which spawns another one. You're going to see the Berserker come down, you're going to see the Whirlwind. Like, it's just... That taunt's not going to last.
Answer.
This may very well be game. Because we're going to get... Let's see. 3, 6, 12... Yeah, this is it.
So
All because of that Hellfire.
Charge.
Because they all get charged, you kill the taunt, and then they just go straight for the face. And that's because of that Hellfire that got rid of that second wall. So, that's 3-0 for Soccer Jedi.
That is.
We are going to record that game, and then in a while we'll bring you our quarterfinal game. Or no, that was a quarterfinal. Semifinals. We'll pick one of those to kind of spectate. So we'll be back. Okay, so we are back at the Game Den in Provo, Utah, and we are about to have our semi-final start. And we're going to continue watching the winner of the last round, Soccer Jedi, against his new opponent.
Who is his new opponent? Yamiguchi.
Yamigoshi.
That name. It's almost as good as my name.
Ooh. That's a very good starting hand for
Take the card draw.
soccer, as well as for Yamaguchi.
Doesn't look too bad. So we got a warrior versus a warlock. I think this is going to be another handlock. You want me to scoot over?
Yeah.
Ow! A little too eager there. That's too much of my fingers.
Now, kind of a slow beginning for both, just kind of slowly getting minions out. In the meantime, though, here's a wonderful mocktail.
It's
called,
delicious. I had it.
Murloc's Blood. So, I don't really know what's in it. I just know it's going to taste delicious.
And
It's
it's delicious.
not alcoholic.
And it's also not spilled all over your desk. Unlike earlier.
Yeah. Now this is a very strong beginning for the Warlock because it sets a precedent for dominance, and it just, for the Warrior, without a weapon, there's no way to contest it. There's no way to prevent the board from getting out of control and getting too many minions out because you can't handle them right away.
Right.
Now, Patron Warrior, which, yeah, we have a Patron, can use the health to buy time until it can get that big push and go all the way through.
Yes,
Apparently there's another game going on that's super exciting. Maybe we started watching the wrong one.
Maybe.
I think this is a turn where you definitely get down the death spite. Start clearing things out. Get things going.
And there it is, being able to clear out the taunt. And next round he could get rid of the imp. Getting lost.
And for the Warlock, though, here comes that temporary wall until stronger demons can come out.
That's good. Help.
Now, what is that third card in the Warrior? Okay, it's the other piece of the combo. Bad pickup.
That's the one that gives them the charge.
Yeah, it's the one that gives them the charge. Now, this is a good play because, yeah, we use the Berserker early, but it definitely allows you to do extra things because you have the mana cost. Really, the only other option would have been to put down the Gnome, but that, you know, doesn't really give you too many options of what to do next. At least now, you know, Execute could be used, or as well as there could have been, you know, Battle Rage or Armor Up. String's really good.
I really like that one. It has just the right amount of fizziness to it.
Oh, that was loud. Your covering up did not help at all.
I tried.
Next time, just mute it next time. Good play by Soccer. Neutralizes that, and then, you know, kind of puts it in a hard position of like, okay, well, I don't have the Berserker now, so what do I do? You know, like, could use it to run in the spiders, but then you have more problems, and we've already seen a Death's Bite go down, so really there's only 1 or 2 more Whirlwinds to get rid of all the 1/1s, or the second Death's Bite.
Right.
However, this is a really good play. Gets rid of all of them and establishes the patrons. Now, what would you do here as the Warlock?
It's kind of hard to say. The Defender of Argus, it helps give you a boost to your taunt, but you see the Nerubian Egg, I'm not sure exactly what he has in his deck. In my opinion, Nerubian Egg, unless you have a card, well, he does have the Argus Defender, so that was a very good play right there. Because he can give that taunt to the Nerubian Egg, and then pull out.
Yeah, but then you trigger a patron. The patron's just going to run into it, take 1 damage, and spawn another one. So it's not the best.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes me wonder why it was even placed down. You know, this is a really good turn for the commander to come out and just kind of push its way through all of the stuff.
Right.
Now,
Yeah, I was hoping you were saying like once past something that would go great with
this does come a little trickier in trying to get that board control, but yet not sacrifice too much. If he kills that Voidwalker, though, there's going to be... You know, there could be good and bad. Like, the warrior doesn't know what's going to come down. It could be Doomguard, it could be anything.
Right.
So I think this is the
But
correct line of
went
play.
off her face, that was a very good choice. That is hard.
This is a hard choices to make, because it's... Like, I could see you getting rid of 1 or 2 of the patrons. Getting rid of the commander's a really good choice.
Oh, yes.
I don't know if I would have gone for the Armorsmith, though. I think I would have killed that leftover patron and left the Armorsmith up, because the armor you could always chew through later, but getting that patron,
Right.
I think that's more important.
You can't pick up 2 cards. No, it's always scry 1.
So what you can do is look at it bottom.
So this will prevent a lot of incoming damage, but doesn't really fix the patron problem. Because now we just have more.
Double.
And next turn, if the Defender of Argus isn't sacrificed, you know, there's going to be more patrons, and it's just going to keep coming and coming and coming. The one solution here, though, for the Warlock is the fact that he's shielded. So he can just go straight for face and then hope to draw into a Dark Bomb or draw into something else.
So, because with the Morganus, you have to kill him before you can attack. Yeah.
Now this makes it tricky because if he kills that taunt, then we got problems. Now I think a very simple solution is to play Dr. Boom, kill that taunt, and hope that your boom bots handle some of the patrons that come out, and then either go face or, you know, whatever variation comes after that.
Right. Which looks like that's what he's going to do.
Yep, that looks like the line of play. I don't know if using that 9 damage on the taunt was the best idea.
Yeah, that definitely could have been utilized more efficiently.
Now we do run the risk that if he doesn't kill the Thorazane, there's more stuff coming out of there, but it's still, like, we do have 2 strong minions though, so now that more patrons are gone, he has to run the leftover patrons in. No choice.
Right.
What?
Pulling a card out, see what he draws into. Not the best draw, but kind of helps.
Mm-hmm.
Warlock still has a strong advantage though, because that's 16 damage right there.
Yeah, that's gonna bring him down pretty quick. Oh, but Yamaguchi also does have another Grim Patron available. He's able to knock out these two big guys.
Yeah. Doesn't want to get rid of the patron, but
There's really not a whole lot of other options.
I think there is better than taking that much damage to the face.
Yeah. Oh, because that leaves 7. He could easily use that to get rid of the Berserker.
Yeah. I think I would get rid of the Berserker. Put down Imp Gang Boss. Maybe Flame Imp and Juggler, but I wouldn't put the Juggler too early because then you're going to get more patrons.
Right, that is very true.
Let's see, the Warrior has 3, 6, 8, 9 damage without the Berserker. Not the best situation to be in, but definitely kind of not the worst.
Very true.
That is good.
So I decided to put down the Juggler.
That was lucky. Don't hit that patron though.
Ooh, that,
Okay. With Boom down, he really needs to run one minion into that. Like there's no other way. Then his other minions, like, don't really give him too many options right now to clear the board. Now, unfortunately, because the other patron was a trigger, that plays into Soccer's hand of not having to deal with another one. So even if that patron's used to run into Imp Gang Boss, you know, he didn't need to worry about it. Really got to take care of that Boom, though. Like, you lose the Armor Smith, but it's your best option, really.
yeah.
Can you turn on this other screen?
Now, this is really risky because the Implosion could kill that patron, but at the same time, it could be really bad.
You're right.
You have to like start having to grab a map.
Actually, right there.
By the way, you turn down your mic guys here.
I can.
Sorry, I keep telling you all the time.
So what was that?
Sure.
Run.
Okay. This is my watch out.
Go ahead. You can leave here.
Okay.
Okay. There's a lot of ambient noise in that last one. I really think this is the only play. Like, it's not great, but it gets rid of the problem, keeps you safe. Yamaguchi's really kind of running out of possible solutions and what to do.
Execute. Just not worth it at this point.
It's not. Or Song Commander coming too late because he doesn't have that other patron now. It might have been best to save that second patron to kind of go through. Now, there's still cards in the Warrior deck, though, that could potentially come out. Like, there could potentially be, you know, Gromosh or a Ragnaros or something that kind of get not necessarily lucky, but enough to push through and get that what he needs to win. Like, this is a perfect example of when he's using that health as a barrier to kind of keep winning. Is now he has so much health that if next turn the Warlock doesn't kill it, he has 2 weapons just right then and there. Tricky lines of play. We don't really know what is best. The Warlock has 4, 5, 6, 7, has 10 damage, so that leaves an extra 5 that he'd need to get rid of.
Depending what he is able to pull.
But this is pretty clear right here, like, get that final damage in, so if the Warlock doesn't have something next turn...
I'd almost run that Acolyte into something. There you go. Draw another card.
Slam's not bad.
So, if this Warlock's able to pull a couple of good things, no.
No, that's not gonna do it. I think I would life tap.
Yeah. Because one way or another, you're gonna be...
You need to figure out what that final...
He's just gonna
thing
sacrifice himself.
Yep. That power overwhelming would have been useful the turn before.
Yeah.
To get that push for damage in.
But why didn't the imp attack him? Doesn't that imp deal 3 damage to the hero, or is that a death rattle?
It was summoned through the void collar,
oh, that's
so
right.
the effect was negated.
Oh, cry.
Yeah, the same thing happens when you summon Jiraxxus from it. Jiraxxus comes down and doesn't replace your hero.
Right.
So
that was game 1, right?
Yep.
And Yamaguchi, I know that's Soccer Jedi's first
for the day.
No,
it's the second.
It's a second.
Mm-hmm. Really rough. Almost went one way and then kind of went the other.
I was going back and forth there for a while.
Now it'll be interesting to see if he continues with that same Warlock.
Yeah.
Looks like it.
Both Warlocks.
So he's continuing on with that Demon Lock. Looks like Yamaguchi is running a hand lock. By the Molten Giant in hand, you can definitely tell that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
We will attack. Attack, and we will tap.
Now I also heard the game den. If you hear noise in the background, that's because they're also having a little Magic the Gathering tournament going on while we're doing Hearthstone.
Do Magic the Gathering draft tournaments once, twice a week.
Never really been a Magic player myself.
Yeah, I played in high school, but I just haven't really been able to keep up with it, so I don't even think I could play now. I'll stick with my Hearthstone.
You'll stick with getting Hearthstoned.
Yes.
That
was a weak pun.
It's better than no pun. I don't know. I'm tired.
I can tell. So this is kind of interesting because I I don't play Warlock a whole lot, and I don't play against Warlocks a whole lot, so I'm really not all too familiar with these decks or these cards. Depending on which ones they are. I mean, Abusive Sergeant, I see that one quite a bit. The Void Walker and the Knife Juggler.
Yeah. I do know, kind of just from my experience, like I play Demon Lock. That is my favorite Warlock to play, but I don't like Handlock because it's way too high risk for the reward. Like,
Right.
you want to take damage, you want to get below that kind of 12 health range to start getting out Molten Giants, getting out the large taunts, and get things going, but then if you run into something like a Patron Warrior like we saw earlier, it just plows through at the end because of one or two mistakes.
Right. It also makes gaining that board control hard to achieve.
Now, this is interesting because we're seeing a lot of the earlier cards we didn't see in the last match, which really makes it give it that Zoo Warlock feel instead of the late game we saw last time, which had more of the kind of, I guess you could say, pure Demon Lock kind of thing. Like, this is more the Zoo part of the deck. Getting a lot of juggles off. Ooh, this is a tricky turn. Could bring down the giant, get rid of some things, but then how much more damage are you going to take?
Right. I'd almost play the Argus Defender just to kind of buy me a little bit more time. It gives Soccer Jedi 2 minions that all of a sudden he has to worry about rather than just the one at this point.
Looks like he agrees. This definitely causes 2 to 3 of them to come in, but that pickup was flawless. Right on 5 mana count. No cards in hand. Like, it just, that destroyed. How much damage is on the board? 8, 10, 13, 17. Yeah, this is, that's it.
And game 2 goes to Soccer Jedi. That was
a clean sweep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Clean sweep going through. So that makes it 1-1?
Yes, 1-1.
In the meantime, let's get our purveyor of zero-proof mocktails to come talk about some stuff. Yeah.
You gotta promote your company.
You gotta promote my company.
Yeah, promote your company live. So, this is Kent Pimentel. Look at the camera. Wait, fine.
Camera's right there. There we go. I'm now on.
He and his wife own the business Zero Proof Mocktails, which donated to our prize pool here at the Game Den.
This is a true story.
Yes. Tell us about your business. Go.
Yes. So we do a catering service, non-alcoholic bartending. So we just do a lot of different events, weddings, private parties, bachelorette parties. Whatever reason you have to have a party, we can come bring. So we've got over 60 different drinks that we've developed, all non-alcoholic, and they're great. So today we've actually got a lot of Hearthstone-themed drinks, so it's kind of fun.
I had a Murloc's blood here a while ago. Tasty.
So, yeah, that's a little bit about me. I've never done this whole like casting thing before, so like hearing the lag is wigging me out.
Hearing me say one thing and then later it just goes through.
Yep. So,
anything else you want to say about your business?
So yeah, it's just the things that we're donating for the prize winners today. So first place gets $50 towards any event plus T-shirt. Second place 25, and then third and fourth, and everyone gets shirts.
Mhm.
So
Shirts for everyone.
shirts for everyone. Yeah. So people need to have more parties. So we're gonna say, you know what? Here's some money towards some parties. Let's do it.
Cool. Well, go ahead. Do a plug. Website, Twitter,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
whatever.
So our name is Zero Proof Mocktails. Our website is zpmocktails.com. You can take a look there, take a look at all of our different drinks, the different pricing options. We're located here in Utah Valley primarily. We can go further outside of that, of course. But yeah, so give us a look. And if you have any suggestions for drinks, we are very open to them.
Cool. Well, back to commentating the game. You can leave now if you want, or
Okay.
you can stay. It's up to
I
you.
just like get nervous. I'm like, what? Wait, actually, who are we watching? I'll do a little bit of commentating.
So we're watching our third game between Yamaguchi and Soccer Jedi.
And we're in the semifinal, right?
Yeah, we're still in our semifinals, and looks like Yamaguchi continued on with the Warlock deck he had last time.
Okay.
And we're seeing a very aggressive hunter here, kind of
Isn't
plowing
that,
through
like,
and whatnot.
redundant.
I don't know. Could be. There are some times where hunters may not be so aggressive.
Okay. Okay.
I don't think they exist anymore. But in early Hearthstone, there were
Sure.
definitely like hunters who would play for the long run and just kind of ping you with their power every once in a while.
Really?
I
Wow.
remember that back in beta phase when everyone was still trying to figure out this game.
That's
No
exciting.
hard for meta yet.
Right.
Looks like the hunter just keeps picking up the perfect card after perfect card.
Like the exact counter each time. Just like, oh, here, let me.
Yeah. And it's done.
There you go. Didn't even
was-
need that.
And like I mentioned earlier to our other caster, Jono, with handlock, high risk, high reward. Like, you risk getting that
Yeah.
low on health, that decks like Grim Patron, Warrior, or Hunter can just come in and sweep you through.
This is a true story.
It's just no game.
It's risky. I don't think there's been a time that I've won with Warlocks that I haven't been below 10 health. Like, it's just the way that the decks go if you build it like that.
Yeah.
So this is game 4.
So game 4.
So what is it? Is it, I guess it'd be 2-2 if we're at 4. Okay, no, game 4. I can't count.
This is game 4, so that means there were 3 played.
Yeah.
And so right now we have 2 for Soccer Jedi, 1 for Yamaguchi. Yeah?
Yeah,
Did I remember? Okay, I remembered that right. I'm not incompetent.
I'm kidding.
So we have Soccer Jedi's Warrior, Yamaguchi.
Still using the Warlock.
Still using that Warlock.
That's
We're starting to see some different. Well, you have to win with it eventually.
I guess that's true.
So, I don't know. I feel like this Warlock, after seeing that Morganis, it can't make up its mind what it wants to be.
Yeah.
It's not pure handlock, but it's also not. It's got some demon stuff in it, so it's like. I feel like if it would have gone more one way or the other, it would have had more success by now.
Okay. Now, for those of us who are relatively new to this, describe to me what is handlock specifically.
So, handlock is a type of warlock deck where they sacrifice the beginning game to then get larger minions out and then put them behind taunt walls. Just this constant thing. Particularly the largest card being the Molten Giant. Every time you take damage, it becomes cheaper.
Yeah.
So by the time you get to 10 health, it's free. And then you throw it up with a couple taunts, nothing can get through you. Problem is, you have to get low health. You have to get that right number right in the middle. If you don't get there, then you're kind of at a loss. And that's kind of what you saw in the last game, was like the hunter is able to just keep being aggressive, and the handlock can't do anything because it needs to get low enough. But by the time it's low enough, the hunter can do just that finishing blow with all the cards.
Yep.
Like even here, it's like, what's he gonna do?
Well, yeah.
He could use the Hellfire, clear the board, you know, get in range of the Molten Giant, but then it's like, well, what do you do with all your other high-cost cards? But if he does have 2 in hand, so he can use one sparingly, just kind of push through.
Yeah.
And see, comes down.
Okay.
The next turn, throw down one of those. You're good.
Got some survival there.
Now this becomes tricky for the warrior because now there's a big minion. We don't see any way to really trigger it to die. We don't see an execute.
Right.
The Amani Berserker's gone to kind of boost up the damage before going. Not much you can really do now.
Just rush as much as you can.
Yep. It's definitely getting that rush now. Just getting things out. Trying to get, now that the health's low, if no taunt comes up next turn, you can just punch right through.
Yep. Risky business. Yeah, it's not sure what way to go.
I think that's the correct play.
Yeah, there we go.
And then the Dark Bomb to kind of clear it. So granted, you will lose the Drake next turn if he chooses to use his face to attack with, but then what?
Yeah.
Now there is one solution around this. Kind of risky though. I don't know if I would do it. Because if you put down the Armor Smith, then you activate the Whirlwind, you're going to gain some armor back. And then, problem next though is like, if you Battle Rage, you're really just kind of hoping and praying that an Execute comes out.
Yeah,
you're like, oh, the 3 cards. 1, 2.
Oh.
Oh.
All a bat girl. There we go.
The game is still on. But if that would not have come, like that would have been it, because the Argus runs in and then the Giant.
Yep. Mhm.
So this turn kind of tricky on which one you want to do. You haven't seen a weapon come out, so you know you're a little safer on the health kind of total.
Oh wait.
But that's it. So next game goes to Yamaguchi.
Da, 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 da.
So that's 2-2. We have our final game.
Match. I should probably get back to my post.
Go back to making drinks.
Yes.
Delicious drinks.
I'm getting fun, but alright, thank you so much.
Thank you. So we have our final game, going from that patron deck. Let's see what comes out. Ooh, Druid.
Druid.
Ooh, it's long-term Druid too. Now, this could go really good or really bad. Like,
For who?
either way, because if the warrior doesn't get a good patron push, the long-term Druid, I forget the exact name of this, but the fact that that card alone, as well as once Spectator decides to actually highlight cards, the Shield Master as well as the previous Ancient of War, like once those cards get down, no patron wall is ever going to get through it. It just stomps the patron warrior right in its footsteps. Then we also have, you know, the two watchers here. Because with the watchers, or not watchers, keeper of the grove, there's silences, there's other things, but this immediate taunt wall shuts down a lot.
It does. Getting that 3-5 out there first round is going to be a big help to him.
Now, this is kind of tricky because,
Like,
as the warrior, what do? You have the taunt down. Like, where do you really go next?
So he has the execute option now, or he can equip his weapon.
I'd equip the weapon. You don't want to waste the execute on a low guy like that. Like no, not worth it.
Yeah, having that was...
Drawing another Innervate, which, oh, that's brutal if he puts down the Thorsane.
Yeah, which probably what he's doing, looks like.
I think I would have gone for the Sylvanas, though. I think I would have rather done that, because then if you kill it, you're going to get something from the warrior that he doesn't want you to have.
Right.
However, with this play, it's like you have a bunch of activators that could kill it. I don't know.
That's hard, because, I mean, a Whirlwind Execute would easily get rid of him.
But then you're using one of your activators for patrons. You're losing a Whirlwind to get more.
Yeah. You're right.
Now, if he would have done Death's Bite the previous turn, then he could have killed Thorazane super easy. Now he's using one of those executes, and with a Druid, you never know what's going to pop out next.
Yep. And the other thing with the Druid, too, that I always hate, it's because they have those cards with those options that allow them to kind of play any way that they need it to. You know, and having those options, playing against those options for me.
Yeah. I think I would have rather liked to have seen that as a taunt, not as a Panther. Because you would have created a stronger barrier, because now he can just use his weapon to get rid of it.
Right.
Yes, you've prevented the extra armor from coming in, but you're still not on turn 7 or 8 to see Patron play come out and gain a lot of, you know, advantage.
Right.
I think this play, I probably silence that before it gets too big. Or use both keepers to kill it.
I could go either way. So, looks like maybe he's hoping to be able to take control of the Berserker, even a Grim Patron at some point, if he's able to with this Sylvanas.
I think this is a good turn to really just make a strong push for face. Like, you don't have all of your combo, but you could do all of those pieces to really beef up that Berserker and just do a punishing blow, and the next turn you're maybe going to lose a piece or two, but...
Gonna put him in a good position for possibly even, you know, a kill hit, and it's going to give him more board control as well.
I don't know, it's tricky, because you could pile through, but at the same time, I don't really want to. It's tricky.
See right there,
That's a lot of damage.
half of his health just from the Berserker.
But he didn't attack with the
He didn't
Berserker.
hit. Oh!
Yeah, that was a misplay.
Yeah.
Oh,
That has to hurt.
that's brutal. He didn't get to get that damage in.
And that is really what he needed to be able to take control of the game.
He overcalculated the inner rage, and oh, that's brutal.
And I think sometimes waiting for that turn end counter can kind of make you rush things.
And he's getting it punished.
That's game.
One that
Oh,
accidentally killing your own Berserker costs a
that,
group of
that
5.
hurt.
Well,
He might have been going for kill damage there is what he was thinking about.
yeah, because there would have been enough to get kill damage. I think if he would have not inner-raged, I think that would have been enough to kill. I'd have to go back and do the math, but that inner rage, that last 1 point of damage, killed the Berserker.
Yeah, well, no, it wasn't the inner rage. I don't think that did it. It was him attacking with his hero before the Berserker.
Well, no, because he was thinking, okay, there's 4 minions on the board. The Whirlwind, as well as the Whirlwind from my Death's Bite, are all going to damage all 4 and buff the Berserker. But it's that inner rage that he used at the beginning that did 1 extra point of damage to the Berserker, because he took 1 from the inner rage,
Right.
1 from each Whirlwind, and 1 from the Taskmaster. That's the
Right.
4. So I think if he would have saved either the Taskmaster damage or the inner rage, that would have been enough to have that enough damage to win.
Yeah, that's very true.
Well, we're going to go ahead and prepare for our final match, and we'll be back.
Lucy is gonna move on.